I just do me, but they say I'm too much. Chosen one, I don't ever get too far. Woo. And my mama said I'm special. If I don't trust you, shoot your metro. Future looking bright, nigga, got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and blessed hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
Today, we're back. We got Antoinette and Breezy. So we did the part one with an all male ensemble where we discussed kind of like custodial rights and the raising of children and how we feel it should go about as men. But we thought it would be fair to give the women their chance to give their take and kind of pick their brains so we can kind of build upon what you guys kind of come up with. You know what I'm saying? So just gonna pass it off to y'all, kind of let y'all introduce yourselves and get reacquainted again. Y'all had a good build last time, so I know this one is gonna be good. Y'all go ahead.
Hey, I'm so happy it's you that I'm doing this with.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but we're friends now. I mean, it just happened last time. I was like, I got to be her friend now. So this is a good like girl talk. It's a good day.
Yes, I'm excited.
So, which one do you want to jump into first? Um, Custody of children, parental rights, visitation, or we also talked that we might discuss Roe v. Wade.
Don't matter. You can get started. It's up to you. I'll just follow.
Okay, well, let's start with the custody of children. I think like I really liked when the men went over their stories of like what happened to them when they were in separations and what happened with their kids. So they were talking a lot about when the initial separation happens, should the genders be separated with certain parents? So I wonder what you think about it.
They said what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
They were saying that the genders should be separated by certain parents. Like boys should be with their dad for the first 12 years and girls should be with their mother for the first 12 years.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of me. Me being a single mother of four. I mean, I think that would be kind of hard for me to give my boys to their father. I don't know. I just think that's a hard thing. I do know that my kids do need their father, and they need a man around. But as far as me, just like if we're not together, me just giving my son to their dad, that would be hard for me. Maybe because I'm so close for my to my kids. But I do agree that a man should be able to, raise his son. But just, I guess my situation is different.
I think I agree too. I wouldn't have even considered that a notion at all because I think that I'm in total understanding that children need their mother and their father. Like they get so many different things from each one. Like my son gets like gardening from me and yoga from me and how to like calm his spirit and you know what I'm saying? And then he gets from his father like how to be a man and how to carry yourself and how to dress and how to protect yourself. So I think it's entirely necessary to have both. If that were ever a conversation, I don't know how to even balance that. I don't know if I think, I mean, I guess if it had to be, yeah, I guess a girl could go with her mother, learn how to be a woman, but my father taught me how to pick the man. So I think if I was with only a woman by the age of 12 and I wouldn't have had that lesson from my father of how a man should carry himself, then I wouldn't be who I am.
Yeah. I think it's important for both parents to be in the picture. It just gives the kids, the right balance that they need to be successful in life, if you ask me, with both parents being involved.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't teach my boys how to be. I have 3 boys. I can't teach them how to be a man, but I have taught them other things like how to cook, how to maintain a household, how to save, just put my mother's touch on things. And I just feel like, if I wouldn't, that, I don't know. That's just a hard thing. That's hard. I don't think I could do that.
Do you think that the way visitation is set up is correctly like a lot of times it comes out to the mother having them for, a week and a half and then the father having it just on the other weekend?
Yeah, no, I can't say. See, I had custody of my little cousins for 7 years, and I can say the way they do the father is wrong when it comes to going to court, because your kid's mother can lose your kids in court, but they dog the father out also. I feel that a man should be able to not be involved with whatever the mom has going on. So just say, for instance, if you got your kids taken and then you have to go to court, they kind of, put the mother and father in the same category. Now, I believe that's wrong. I feel like if a father is doing what he's supposed to do, he's been there, he's been helping from day one. I feel that whatever the mom has going on they shouldn't have to fully investigate. And, the father has to go through this too. When I got custody of my cousin's kids, the father, he wasn't he wasn't stable, but they just dragged him and dogged him in court just because the mom lost her kids.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think it's right at all. I don't even know why we have it to be a week and a half and a weekend, because I think if you've been in their life their entire life, then you should have half the time. Um,
Right.
I just have like a super different ideology about all this. Like even child support, like if that man is taking care of his kids half the time still, I don't know why he would need to pay for your life. Because if like my kids see me and their dad equal amount of time, half and half, like if they're with me during this time and I handle this money and then they're with him at this time and he handles that money, like why would he need to pay anything else towards my life if he got his own life and he's taking care of his kids half the time?
Right.
I don't even know why. And I think it's super hurtful, like how our court system does the men. If I were ever in a situation, I'd be like, wow, this is great. I'm a woman. I can capitalize on this. But I think it's totally wrong. And I guess we don't have enough controversy about this to make it live because I feel like we both feel the same way.
Yeah, I just feel like, men in certain situations aren't treated equal and they have to go through so much um, to be a good, to show that they're a good father, versus the women. You have them, you take care of them, you get assistance, you sign up, you can sign up for housing, and it's just so much easier. But for a man, it's just like they give them such a hard time for anything. They got to verify that they're on the birth certificate. They got to make sure they have to have everything in writing. I mean, it's just terrible the way they do our men. So I can definitely agree with that. I mean, the system needs to change. I feel like if a mother loses their child, give the father a chance. Don't go over the father and say, well, he's a felon and this and that, and he can't get his child because he's a felon. Well, it's a lot of mothers that are good mothers that made a mistake, but they hold the father to it, make him prove himself.
That's true.
When a mother really doesn't have to prove herself, she just has to give birth to that child.
Which is wild because there's a whole bunch of whack mothers out here in the world.
Yes.
And I mean, we all learn along the journey, but there's a whole bunch of women who don't deserve to have their children, and their children are going through all types of crazy, traumatic stuff. But the dad can literally be fighting to get them out of that, and they just leave that baby in there because they trust the mother. And I don't agree with that because I've seen some super whack mamas in the world.
Yes. It really is. And just coming from experience and what I had to go through, having, having my cousin's kids for 7 years, it was just, I went through so much. So
And I also just want people to think about like if you're a woman, like let's say the roles were reversed and the courts really supported women, I mean men, the way they support women, and it was so easy to take your children out of your life, like Monday through Sunday, their whole life you've been in their life, and then this day we separate, you get mad, we don't know how to communicate, and my children are out of my life. Like, what do you think that would do to your soul as a woman if Monday you had your babies and Tuesday they're gone, and the court system is telling you that you can't be in their life anymore, and the police, and I know that there's situations where that is actually necessary, but I
Yeah.
don't think that women understand how painful and like soul wrenching that would be. And then we expect these men who lost their children to be able to function in society normally when they just went through this trauma. Because I wouldn't be able to go to work the next day. I wouldn't be able to treat the next person right. Like, I wouldn't be able to be mentally functional correctly if I did not have my children the way that I do. Like,
You're absolutely right.
taking them away from me. So, like, and men can't talk about that. Like, they can't talk about their emotions or their traumas and all these things. And we just expect them to be able to function normally in society without considering any of that part. I think
Yeah.
like talking to men through it, I was like, oh my God, you went through this too? You went through this too? And of course, this is not me just having compassion for all the stories, but this really happens and it is painful for them too.
Yes, it is. They really need to change the system. They really do. As far as men, a lot of more men are stepping up and having to take on their children because the women are losing their children more and more. They're not stable. They're not getting the proper help that they need. So the men that I've seen, I know a few men that has had to take care of their children. I know men who had to get their kids day one, you know, never even lived with mom because mom just didn't want the kids. She wasn't with the father. It's just so many different stories. I feel like with me, I never had to go the child support route. I never had to put my kids' fathers on child support. Even my first two children, their father really didn't do a whole lot. Once we was not together anymore, he moved on, never really paid child support, but I just never really wanted it because I wanted my kids, and we never talked about it. I never bashed him in front of my kids or anything like that. I just ain't want nobody saying that they gave me, telling my kids, well, I paid child support for you. So now, okay, you didn't pay child support. So what's your excuse now for you just not doing nothing? You was just a deadbeat. You never paid child support. You never was on child support. So what's your excuse now?
Mm.
So my kids have grown older to see, well, you wasn't supportive when my mom had us young, and then you still ain't a supportive dad, and we're grown. So I mean, it's just sad, but I deal with it.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I don't really think that the men who are raising their kids on their own, like this is some extraordinary, mind blowing thing. Like it's of some higher degree. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this man is raising his kids by himself. Because if all these women out here are doing it, and nobody even blinks an eye at all these single mothers, like we definitely shouldn't blink an eye at single fathers. It's not that mind blowing. This is what you have to do. You created a seed. You just got to handle that. Period. However you got to handle it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part, but I'm always a promoter of more equality. So I think that we just need to consider them more in the whole conversation.
Yeah.
You want to go
So
through
we're,
Wade?
huh?
You want to go through Roe v. Wade?
Real B Wade.
Roe v. Wade, the abortion laws.
Okay. I definitely don't believe in that. I feel a person should be able to get an abortion if they want to. I've never gotten an abortion. I don't believe in abortions, but I feel like sometimes it's a need. If you raped or if you know you have a medical condition and you're going to go through hell having your baby, because some people have medical conditions where they you know, you're not really knowing the father, his background in the family, you know, you go through these difficulties because your blood types are connected, and sometimes you have real bad difficulties during pregnancy. And I feel like, you know, some people suffer, and I just feel like, you know, it's up to you if that's what you want to do. I don't believe in it. I don't do it. But if I needed to do it, I don't need nobody telling me that I'm not allowed to do it.
Hmm. Well, I think the interesting point about it, what I hear from people is like, well, I don't know why everybody's so mad. All that this did was give the power back to the states to decide. So if you're in a state that says it's okay, then that's fine. Then you can do it. And if you're in a state that says it's not, then that's what the decision is. But it's easier for you to manipulate the general consensus when you have a smaller amount of, like, just a state versus a nation that you have to vote on. So everybody's like, oh, that's actually like more beneficial and it goes by the Constitution, which I understand. But I think that the wonderful thing would be if it was just nationwide, it was okay for women to be able to choose what they want to do with their bodies. But
Yes.
the reversal of that is, let's say there was someone who, I mean, Republican stance is, you know, anti-abortion. So if there was a Republican in office and he was able to change that law nationwide, but I mean, really, it goes to the Supreme Court. But I don't know. I just think that whatever the system is going to try to do, we have to learn how to handle it in a natural and different way. So if it's not okay for any government or anyone outside of my body to tell me what to do, not even like my own man, I wouldn't let him decide what's going to happen with my body. So why would I let some government entity do it? So when we get to the point to where you need that thing, you need an abortion or whatever happens, this is your decision. Nobody can really stop that if you inform yourself with information. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are herbs that you can take every day to be your birth control. There are natural remedies that you can take to be able to, you know, not have a baby and to not get pregnant. So, I mean, there's ancient things that we've been doing. Nobody, no law or entity can tell you what you can actually do with your body naturally. So you just got to outsmart the system for real, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I just I don't believe that they should be telling people what to do with their bodies. That to me, that's wrong. You know?
That poses that. I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but that makes me want to ask y'all a question about about something that's been going on now recently. It's been picking up steam. You got a couple male influencers who kind of make their rounds on talk shows and on their own podcasts and whatnot. And now we have kind of got to the point to where there's this known thing in the general populace of men, and it's called the manosphere. And the manosphere is like is basically, I don't want to say the opposite of feminism, but like it is though. That's what I would say it is. It's the masculine version of feminism. So the um the men pushing this narrative, they're kind of, they might be a little misogynistic and controlling maybe. Um, have y'all experienced any type of run-ins with these people, like the Kevin Samuels of the worlds and stuff like that? We know he's influenced a lot of people. Are y'all starting to see these men that kind of are like-minded like that now popping up more in y'all everyday lives and interactions?
What, you can go ahead first.
Have I? I mean, maybe like more on social media, but far as me, like being around that type of person, I mean, I could say it's more and more now, um, than it was.
'Cause
Yeah, I could say,
I'm gonna
huh?
be, I'm gonna be honest. I think James is one of them.
James is the world leader
James
of
and the
the
I
ideology.
personally know a couple because I wasn't familiar with the term too much. I've heard it before. I've always was familiar with the red pill. That's what they used to call it, swallowing the red pill. Like when men would talk about like super like misogynistic views and shit like that. But now I'm hip to the manosphere thing, and I started looking up on it, or reading into it. I'm like, that's James and these niggas for real. So I feel like I'm starting to see it more. But go ahead.
Well, I think that Kevin Samuels just bothered me, like, because I think that he could have had great points for people, but his rudeness and like cutting people off and talking to people the way he did, like, you don't have to do that. So I don't. I will watch him for a second and be like, I gotta turn this off because that just bothers me. There's no reason to talk to anybody the way he did, but because people like that rudeness, everybody tapped in, and then they like him being just cutthroat and all that. I don't like that. So it was a turn off to me. But I do see plenty of men feeling like, oh, well, Kevin Samuel said it, so I can jump on the toxic bandwagon. But a lot of you are jumping on the toxic bandwagon, but you're not intelligent enough or articulate enough to back up why he actually even felt that way. So that's a problem. And it really just, when I see men like that and they go through this and I have discussions like, oh, why do you go through this? It makes me giggle because, like, you sound like a goofball, but you think that you can really believe this stuff, but it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, they
Right.
I wish that there was a manosphere of like, or what's it called?
It's the manosphere.
Yeah, the manosphere. I like how you said the manosphere. I think that there should be places where men can grow and like heal their souls and talk about what they really need to talk about and be proud that they're men, but not in that egotistical, whatever, like nasty type of way that they do it there. That Kevin Samuels
Yeah.
is about doing it, and that James loves to promote doing every episode.
Yeah. So I could say I see it more. Um, and then you do run into some assholes, is what I call them, from time to time. Um, but that's just we just live in a world. That's just how it is. Men just don't really respect women like they should, and women definitely don't respect men. Um, and build them up. I always make sure, I check on my friends, my male friends, and just check on, people that are important to me as far as males, just giving them the love that they need because a lot of women like tear men down and then expect them to give them the world. But I've noticed like dealing with men, you have to like really love and honor and respect your man. And a lot of people just don't know how to do that now. They don't know how to say, babe, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Thank you for, providing for us. And I guess I'm just old fashioned. I don't know. I'm just different.
I think that I'm grateful that I saw the way that my mother cared for my father and still does care for my father because it shows me how to be a good woman for sure. But I
Right.
think like you're totally spot on. Like what I learned from my journey later on was like I don't know nothing about men. Like I don't understand the way that they think. I don't understand the things that they go through. I don't understand why they make the decisions. Like for a while I was like we are so different from men. Like I don't know why God put us together. But it's
Right.
because we don't understand them and we think like oh this and that. That's why like you said like honoring them and loving them like so deep and doing those things like that is so needed. Like that is so
It
seriously
is.
because
So
then you give them the opportunity to communicate with you and speak with you and open themselves up and be loved.
good point. Because I was just about to say, so is the manosphere a cry for help then?
A cry for help? No, because I mean they don't even know that something's wrong with the way that they're thinking.
So it's a subconscious cry for like everybody acts out differently when they're going through things. So um,
Yeah, I think some men just don't know how to express themselves, um, including myself. I've learned with growth how to like express myself, go back to situations and relationships that I've dealt with when I was, not really what I say, not really feeling good about myself, how, I might have talked to my man a certain type of way, disrespected him just because I wasn't feeling the best or I wasn't feeling good about myself. So I just thought that was, talk to my man, he cheat on me, just dog him out, be disrespectful. But I've learned, with growth, why is that person doing that? Is it something that I did? Was it something that they did? Is it something that we can talk about? Is it something worth forgiving and not bringing it up? And that's my thing too. Once we go past something, and if I'm in a relationship and we passed it, we don't bring it up no more. If you're going to continue bringing it up, then it's just like we're not. I can't deal with that. Where I'm at right now in my space, and I go off of vibe and energy. I can't have the negative energy around me. If I forgive you for something, and you're going to continue and continue and continue throwing it in my face, I just don't want to deal with you. Because I'm not going to do you like that. And I'm going to try not to do anything that's going to hurt you because I don't want to be hurt anymore. So I'm going to try my best not to hurt you with words. I'm going to try my best not to hurt you with anything. I'm going to try my best to give you the respect that you need because I want that same respect.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I've even thought like in my younger years that I was so respectful and I was so, considerate. And I learned like at 30 years old, like, girl, you are selfish and inconsiderate. Like you put yourself first. And I think like, oh, I'm pouring and I'm pouring and I'm pouring into everyone else. And I'm a woman and I'm pouring into everyone else. And like, girl, you don't even understand how much men put up with all the different changes and all the different things that's going on with you. Like it's not balanced. Just like I'm gonna be real. When you're taking care of a baby, a male versus a female, it's not balanced. When you're in the house together, that's just my own opinion from my real life experience. And I had a 50-50 partner. And I'm saying it's still different, a mother taking care of a child. But the imbalance of what men deal with, like from women, from our subconscious and our the way that we think is a lot too. Or maybe just me. I know that I'm a lot to deal
Yeah.
with as far
I
as
know that I'm a lot. Men tell me all the time, you're a lot. You're just, I have a friend like, hey, you just always got to be the strong one. You don't got to be the strong one in this situation. Let it go. Let me be the man and you just follow the lead. Like, let me show you how a man is supposed to treat you. You know what I'm saying? And just follow the lead. And if it don't work that way, then let's try something different. I know I'm a lot. I know my list is long, as far as relationships, what I want and everything. But I've learned to, trim that down because everybody is not perfect. Everybody is not perfect. And you got to understand, everybody wasn't raised by your mother and father either.
Mhm.
So some people live differently. So you have to take that in any situation. You got to, I can live a certain type of way, but then I have a male that's in here that just don't know how to do nothing. And you be like, well, damn, what? So let me bring it back and let me teach you how I do things. And let's see if it works. Because you got to understand, you got to really work with people. That's why we have so many people that's breaking down and committing suicide because they just don't have nobody to talk to. And it be like that girl just don't understand, you know, it's just you gotta love who you with. You gotta really love who you with and get an understanding and have that open line of communication. And you cannot be putting your partner down. You just can't. You can't expect a person to be a good man and then you telling them everything that he's doing wrong and nagging him all the time.
I think that before you love somebody else, you better learn how to love yourself. Because how you love
Right.
yourself, how you gonna love them. So if you're gonna sit and talk down to your partner all day, then really you're gonna talk down to yourself because you just want that wild energy around you. Like create a peaceful environment with your babe, and then you'll have a peaceful environment. You'll have a peaceful love, and like the more that you give them, the more that they're gonna give you. So I don't even know why people even want to be bothered in that. And then the other part of like how people were raised, like you start to notice when somebody else loves differently and their love languages are differently, and oh, I don't like to be touched, or I like to be alone, or all these different things, and you're like, oh, why? Oh, well, I was raised like this or like that. I think people need to, one, have consideration in both aspects. Like, I consider that, I'll give them time, I'll give them patience, but also like, are you happy while you're going through this process with this person of learning them and like trying to teach them this way of love and how to be more open? Like, that's a lot. And are you happy? So like, make sure you're loving yourself before you make a decision to go with somebody who might not be raised by you, and that might be harder, but it has benefits too, because you'll learn so much from someone else. Like,
Yeah.
so beautiful actually be able to learn all the opposite sides. So
Yeah. So that's how I feel. I just feel like, you just got to really, really, love the person that you're with and show them. If they don't know your way, show them. And sometimes you just got to let the man take the lead too. Cause I know I'm bad at that. And I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm bad at that. I am bad at letting somebody take the lead because I have been taking the lead myself for so long. It's just hard for me, to it's just hard. And pray with your partner. Pray with your partner. That's a lot of things that people don't do. Pray with your partner. You have to be able to pray with your partner. If you can't pray with your partner, I mean, I just feel like prayer and bringing God in it makes it so much better also.
I think that some people aren't just prayers, period, or whatever. But when me and this man sit down and like breathe together and hold hands and pray and like set intentions, like that energy is just wild. Like that is some beautiful stuff. And it puts you guys in a partnership of understanding, like where you want to go together. Like instead of writing down goals, like let's just sit and breathe and really think about them together and create together, especially energetically. Like I love that. But it's funny that you said, thank you, Greg, for your comment. Ladies, your opinions are different but spot on. I love joining these podcasts. Well, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it is so hard. Like I'm super hyper independent, and it takes one thing for you to say, like, oh, you don't know how to do that by yourself. Like, oh, bet, yeah, I do. I'm gonna figure out. Watch, and I'm gonna figure it out. Like I will struggle. I don't care. I'll be mad. I'll just figure it out. But then, like the part of being soft, that is a struggle. Like I thought that I was so feminine and I'm so much, and I keep hearing lately in my life, like, be softer. Just be a little bit softer. Like, because
Yeah.
I can't rely on anyone else to make sure that I'm good. I'm gonna make sure I'm good and I'll make sure these kids are good, and that's it. Like there's really no more discussion about it. So how could I allow myself to trust anybody enough to take me off my like, me watching everything that I gotta do to hustle to make it right.
Right.
So
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, man. It's just you gotta self-love first. You gotta get to know yourself. You gotta heal from your own problems too. A lot of people just jump into stuff not really healing. And then, I don't know. I'm in a place where if I'm not vibing, it's all about a vibe to me and the energy. I am big on energy, very big.
it'd be
So,
so sad. Like it's definitely all about the vibe and the energy. Because if if you're just not my type of intelligence or goofball, like we just can't do it. Like it doesn't matter how amazing, like, oh, you about to be a millionaire, but like we have totally opposing, it just can't work. I'm sorry. That I don't know. It just can't be. So you definitely got to be the right one. And females really choose in the end. I hope you ladies know that females really are the ones to choose in the end. So make sure you choose the right one.
right,
God created male and female for the growth of the world. Facts.
right.
Sometimes God put a person in your life to help you heal. But is it your job to heal somebody else? Like, truly, this happens every single day in every single relationship. Is it my job to heal you, or is it your job to heal you?
I feel like it's the person's job to heal their self before I jump into anything. And I'm single, and I've been single for 3 years. Um, just because my last relationship I got out of, I was engaged, it didn't work out. So I was just, healing from that situation. Um, and I've just been single, but but I got help. I went to counseling, you know, I seen a counselor. I identified what the problem is when it came to me in a relationship, why I feel it wasn't his fault 100%. It was both of our faults, So for 3 years, I've been healing. I've been learning how to love myself more. I've been learning how to, not being so judgmental. I've just learned a lot just healing for these 3 years. So when my king come, I'm ready. It's all about being there. I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. And I want him to love me the way, you know what I'm saying? I want us both to be on the same page of giving each other the same equal love. I want to be able to know my partner. That's why I say you have to be able to know people before you just jump into stuff, because you never know what somebody is going through and what they've been through. And if they haven't healed, it's like, why are you eating? It's not going to work out because both parties have to be healed.
Yeah.
They just have to jumping into something. You can't just jump into something and say, hey, I want to start a relationship with you. And then you find out 6 months on down the line, this person wasn't for you because you didn't get to know that person. You don't know what this person went through. And some people are still going through. Now, this is what I don't believe in, like still going through childhood trauma. Now, if you like me, I'm 40. I don't want to deal with nobody with no childhood trauma. I need for you, if you ain't getting along with your mom, find an understanding about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring me up into mess
Yes.
from a childhood. Now, if you ain't got help from that, then something's going on with you. Because if you still drilling on how your mama wasn't there for you like she needed to be, and you 40 years old and you still holding on to that, you don't need to be. I'm the wrong person to be around. Period.
Right. They might need to hear that from you. Like, grow up, heal it, get through it,
Right.
get over it, bruh. Not even get over it. Get through it.
Yes. Get through it.
Yeah. I could honestly say, like, in my situation, when we met, like, I wasn't healed. Like, I was broken. Like, I was not okay. And it was like me, but I was reactive. I was honest, like, hey, I'm broken. Like, this is not the time for this. I'm not right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there were things that happened because I was exuding that energy. Like, I'm broken. I'm just kicking it. I'm not, whatever. And in my
Right.
case, I had someone come into my life who helped heal me and helped me learn more about loving myself. Like, I learned a lot about loving myself because I'm around someone who truly loves himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's been beautiful. And
Right.
I helped him heal in ways too. So normally I would say, like, it's not your job to heal somebody, like, because you're going to be taking too much away from you. But I experienced it where it actually benefited my life and the person that I was with to make us both better.
Well, that's good. He really wanted to be with you then.
No, that's facts. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. He was willing to wait, and he waited around, got you, you were able to get yourself together. That's a beautiful thing. That's what it's all about, being patient and waiting. But know when it's time, when you can't wait. Don't be in something and just be miserable and saying that you're going to you're going to wait. Well, I'm gonna wait. He gonna get better, girl. Oh, he's good sometime and sometime no. If you have to keep on going through situations like that, that is just not a good situation. Not saying that you're not going to go through things, but I know you have to have a cutting point when you like, okay, now this is the fair warning. If you ain't getting it together, then I'm going to have to move on. And the person should say, okay, I understand. I'm just not ready and I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, but that's beautiful and perfect, but that don't never happen. I mean, sometimes, but people are gonna be selfish about what they want. Why would I want to let you go? Like, If you're gonna stay here and let me continue, then I'm gonna continue. But
Right.
I just want to lay it out there because I said to a girl the other day and she acted like she didn't know. She was talking about her man putting hands on her and talking to her, and I was like, why you even let him raise his voice at you? And she was like, what? And I was like, no man ever needs to raise his voice at you. And you don't need to raise your voice at no man. Like, whatever is happening is because you're allowing it. Like, no man needs to raise their voice at you. No man needs to talk to you wild. I was in a relationship 13 years. I was never called a bitch. We still be around each other. Ain't never been called a bitch. Like, I ain't no man ever called me a bitch because I would never allow it. Like, if you did, you would never see my existence again. And so I like that's not even an option. You touching me, it's a never. Like, I would never sit and you would see my face again. So like,
Right.
and because that's my mentality, I'm never gonna attract that man to be in my life because I won't even allow him my time and energy. So for all the women dealing with that, you're allowing it, sis. Like, really, you're saying to the universe that this is okay and this is what I'll accept. So when you get ready to not allow that energy anymore and to not be like that, and you really want to change, you got to keep it moving. Like, it's literally demeaning your spirit. Like, you don't think nothing of yourself. You don't love yourself. So just change that. I feel like that has to be put out. I don't even know why, but that's real life.
Yeah, it is. It is. You have to love yourself. You just have to learn how to love yourself, and it's okay. It's okay to get out of a situation.
Karen said, "This is why you have to date with intentions and not lust. Majority of dating is lust dating. No one takes time to get to know each other. Unfortunately, you have to want to change and heal. Nobody can do it for you." That's all facts.
Yeah, it
I
is.
wish people was just honest. Like, listen, I don't need a relationship from you. I don't want that from you. Let's just do what we got to do over here. Like, you don't have to lie about it. You don't have to nothing. If somebody just was honest, like, I don't want nothing from you but the sex, then we could just do that and that's it. If you agree to that situation. So if it's just lust, leave it at lust. Y'all don't got to date. Like, we're in a new day and age. You can do your thing. You can be free. Just be honest about it. You ain't got to lie.
But yeah, that's easy. But most people don't. They don't. They don't. They don't. They just don't know how to be honest. I guess they feel like if they come in faking, that they could be able to continue with it. Like mm, people, it's a shame. The dating game is really a shame out here. I feel like I keep it real. I let a person know what I want. And somebody say, "Well, what you looking for? A friend?" Well, why you looking for a friend? You too pretty to just be looking for a friend. I'm just looking for a friend. And they don't understand that. It's like, oh, since you see, I got a big butt or I model or I got this and that, you want to try to get with me. And it's like your intentions is not even good.
Mm. I just feel
But
like, why do we even have to have a label? Like, why do we even have to like put a label on everything all the time? You know what I'm saying? And that might be because I was in a real relationship like from young to most of my adulthood. But just if I say let's just be friends, let's just kick it and keep it there and let go all that need for labels, let go all this and that. I'm still giving you the same love. I mean, maybe that I would give somebody who's my friend, and I'm just not at that point where I want that. If you need that, find you somebody who will go give you that, but it's not gonna be me. So
yeah, and I think a lot of times, even with me, it be the men, it used to be how like back in the day a woman be like, so what are we, what's going on? I've met like the men are just so aggressive now.
yes,
They take you somewhere or they do something for you. It's like, okay, are we together or what? And
so
I'm like, no. Thought we were just going on a date. Now you want a whole relationship after just dating for a day. Now you and came and see me in person. I'm real. And, or, you and sat and had conversation with me for 2 weeks and we went on a few dates. Now you're ready to settle down. How? How are you ready to settle down? You don't know nothing about me.
but you know what? Let's take it back because maybe that's because like dudes just don't be taking people on dates no more. And I don't even want to say that. Like, I hate making general statements, but like I talk to so many females and I've been that female. Like, you want to kick it, you want to do all this, but like we can't never go to dinner. Like you're not trying to take me out on a real date. Like coming to your house and kicking it, watching TV. No, I'm not interested. Like let's go on a real date. Like court me. If you want me to call you my man, then court me. Do y'all not know how to court women anymore? Like get a nice dress shirt. Let's dress up nice. Let's go out. I don't even care if you don't got to spend no money. Take me on a moonlit walk, player. Put a blanket on me. I don't understand. So maybe when they take you on a date, they like, I spent that $30. She got to be my girl now. I don't know. But
Yeah, it's terrible. It's like a person take you on a date and it's like, okay, so we go together now? No, we don't go together. We're dating.
dating, can we get back to dating? Like, can we do that again?
Yeah.
If
I
it doesn't have no labels, we call it talking, or some people call it, you know what I'm saying? But like, can we just date again? I don't care. You can go on a date with 4 girls. I don't care. Like, if I mean, I care what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
and stuff. But I don't need to have no label to like. Let's just be young and have fun and do the thing and not that thing. You know what I'm saying? The date. But I don't
Right.
have a label for it. Oh, thank you, Greg, for tuning in. And congratulations on meeting your soulmate after your divorce. I think that's really,
Yes.
and it's so
Thank
like
you.
hopeless. Like once you've lost that, like when you go through that first loss and you're like, how, what am I ever gonna have again? Like, and then you get in the dating world and it's whack. It's like the most super whack in history. Like, your person is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that person who's gonna understand you and know you and treat you right and like fulfill you every day. They're out there, but you just have to like keep knocking them flies off, like keep just moving them flies and not even paying attention, because if you want that good one, then you gotta like keep your standards high, basically, like you said, like you're gonna be ready for your king when he comes through.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be ready. I've been preparing myself for this, to be there and be able to, treat a man like he's supposed to be treated because I know how I want to be treated. So, yeah.
Social media has changed the world. I was just
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it makes it really hard for relationships and really detrimental, because like you don't even realize that you're subconsciously comparing all the time. Like I love when I see those super lovey-dovey videos of like people in their house and they're hugging and kissing and I'm like, oh, that's so perfect. Psych, like you staged every one of them shots. Like y'all really don't be in a house like that. Like who
Right.
is holding the camera? Like somebody in the hotel room with the waterfall. Somebody staged. Like you know, it's not real, but you know, whatever.
No, it's not.
But I mean, as if your person's pissing you off, you could definitely always go on your phone and find somebody to hit up for that night. Like it's that easy. Like that night, talking to them, like, oh, I don't gotta be mad, I don't gotta be bored, I'll just push on you. Like it's nothing. So it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. Nobody's relationship is perfect. Everybody's relationship sucks like 50% of the time, I believe. This too shall pass. You don't need to swipe left, swipe right, and find it to the next person. Like, go be by yourself for a while if your relationship sucks.
Yeah, and then know when to end it. When it sucks. Don't put the time and energy into something that it's not going to work out. Know when enough is enough. Because I had to learn that. Because I was in a relationship for 9 years, and it was like I stayed in it and stayed in it, and it was just not. And it was a waste of time to me. Like I have a beautiful son out of the situation, but it's like it was such a waste of time. It really was.
I don't feel like my long term relationship was a waste of time. It taught me like so much. Like I will be like, yeah, I got 3 beautiful babies out of it too. So that's the bonus. But like just taught me so much about, because it was someone who truly did love me and like how to be a better person and formatting me and like teaching me what I'll accept and what I won't accept. And like it's just lifelong lessons that I'll get from all that. So, you know, but we have a good relationship. So I think it's different. Like I just appreciate everything that we had in that time.
Yeah.
It made me.
And I could say I have a great relationship too. I have a great relationship with my kid's father. Um, we always really had a great relationship. It was just the flood, the cheating and, the things that I had to go through where I said it was a waste of time. But I was able to build with that person, have businesses and get into business. And I'm as business minded as I am today because of that person. Don't get me wrong, I have grown off of it, but it was just, the time that was wasted there. But we're good co-parents, and we do things for our son. We don't argue, we don't fuss, we don't fight, we don't have a reason to. I can ask him for anything in the world, and he makes sure that I'm straight. Me and my family, so we're good.
I just want to say that I love this comment. Like, life has its tests walked together. That's the most overlooked issue, and what's to eat is the biggest issue. Listen, I'd be like, I don't know. I just kind of want this or that. But all you got to do for me is just like trick me and be like, say something totally off the wall that I don't want. Then I'd be like, no, I really wanted this. But for real, what I really want is for you to just choose, like, I guess, like, really choose and be like, we're just going to go here this time. Next time we'll go do something else. I don't know.
Right,
I don't know. Maybe
right.
like when you leave. But maybe I'm lying. I'd be like, no, not that. I don't know. That's funny because that's definitely like I seen this dude making a video about it and I was like, oh my god, we're literally terrible with that.
Yes.
But you definitely need to like get to the point where you realize that problems are like you and your partner against the problem, not the problem like separating you two. Because I had a situation and I was just like super bothered, and I called my best friends and she was like, it just depends on how much you love that person. Like, are you gonna do you love them enough to like really look at all the pieces and the parts and like go through it? And I was like, I ain't about to have no conversation, like I ain't talking about it at all. She was like, okay, that's fine. If you love them enough, you will like possibly do that and walk through it honestly and look at the whole perspective and hear their perspective and all that. And like, I'm so glad that I called her and had that conversation because it allowed me to just see everything. And it was totally like asinine the way that I was reacting. So if I could look at it and we could grow through it and see like I sucked here and you sucked here and then this is how we can improve, I think that's the best way to do it.
Right.
Hmm. I'm I finally am getting my respect as the pushed away father. Mm, that sucks. That sucks that you were ever the pushed away father. Because I don't know, like when my kid's dad is gone on vacation or something, like my kids ain't used to their daddy being away, and it affects them mentally, emotionally. Like they be like, "Where is my daddy?" Like, so I mean, I guess some kids get used to that, but my children need their father in their life, and they love their father, and he teaches them every day. So I think it's terrible when that ever happens. If you want to be in their life, for the men who don't and aren't worried about being there, like I don't, I think you just don't have it in you, just like some women don't have it in you, and I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of women push the fathers away,
Yeah,
and women really need to stop doing that
right.
because I feel like, kids are much better with both parents being in their life. And I just feel if my oldest son would have had his father there in his life and really been there for him as a father, then my son wouldn't be going through, what he's going through now as an adult if his father was there for him. So I can really say that kids need their father. Women stop pushing the good men out. And, I see a lot of young mothers, allowing their kids to call other people dad. And, it's crazy because when you're not with that person anymore, sometimes the person walks away. I mean, you get a good dude that sticks around and still be there for the kid, even though they're not the father. But majority of the time, I mean, when his time is up, he ain't about to be checking in on your kid. They act and betray like, oh, I'm going to always be here for you. Not really. Not
Right.
really. Not like a father would be there for their child.
And I'm gonna say though that there's plenty of on both of these. There's plenty of men who push away the mothers when the separation happens too. And that's really just a problem. Like that whole pushing away, like I don't know what mothers think they're gonna get out of it because now you lose the help and you lose the partner in it. You lose like when I truly believe like when my child's father is doing amazing and I'm doing amazing, then I literally like legitimize the longevity of my bloodline. Like I'm gonna make sure we both good. So I don't know why y'all think calling the police and doing all this crazy stuff and making his life worse is gonna help your children because it's not. Then you just alone in this world taking care of them babies, which I know you think like I'm alone in my apartment take care of these babies, but having a daddy that you can call and be like, hey, yo, somebody trying to break in or somebody's acting crazy over here. Can you come check this or can you pick him up? Like, uh, take that help. Like, create a good environment for your children so they can keep growing and learning from their father and their mother at the same time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even understand why women do that, but it's just different levels of comprehension and communication, I think. Because if you don't know how to handle your emotions and you react by pushing that man out of his life, who is a good man. Now, if they're a bad man, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing. You know how to protect your children the best way. But if it's just coming as an emotional reaction because you mad about something, that's wild selfish. That's like crazy selfish. So I don't know how,
Yeah.
like, your
Uh,
first mother is sacrificed for your children. Like, get through it, get over it. It's not about you.
right.
So, but yeah.
Sometimes mothers try to replace a good man, a good dad. Yeah. Sometimes they do, but it never works out.
Facts. Facts.
Never works out.
That's true. Do you have any questions, sir?
Oh no, I think you guys had a great show. Um, y'all covered a wide range of topics concerning this whole parental and even the mental mentality towards men and what we might be going through, and I felt like y'all gave a fair perspective. So I don't think I have any further questions. Great show tonight, y'all. Um, we'll be back again. Uh, if y'all got anything to end out with, that's it.
Well, thanks for finally. I'm glad I finally got to meet you in video world.
Right, right. We gonna have to get together.
Yes. We'll link up.
Most definitely.
Well, it's
Come
been
up with some good topics.
yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So thank
Yep,
you.
I enjoyed it. I just want to say, love the person that you are with. Um, Men and women. So many women go through things. Um, for example, I just want to say this: even with the you see the blue face and what's his girlfriend,
Oh God, Krishan, is that what?
Sean. I
Oh,
just want to say something. She is so broken, and this is a plain example of what I'm trying to talk about. And I'm not gonna keep you guys long.
ooh,
Of a person who did not heal and jumped into something. And this goes by a person who did not know what he was getting himself into, even going there with that girl. That girl, I don't condone nothing that she does. Um, but I just feel sorry for her being the person watching her go through all the emotions and the things that she had to go through. And I got deep into it, and I really don't be on the celebrity thing and stuff like that, but I just really needed to know, like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, what is it? But looking back at her story on how she was homeless and had to fend for herself since the age of 9, just really not having that love and just really not being able to heal, getting from one situation. She gave up her dreams and everything, being a track star and just gave up life, been on a reality show, and it just she just that right there is a person who just didn't heal with time. She is so broken. I just want to get with her and be like, girl,
Yeah.
hang out with me for a day, please. Let me get you together. Because I feel so bad for her, and people be laughing about it and they be talking about it. People fell out with their families behind it. And it just comes from a person that wasn't healed. And you can say from him, like, he don't know how to talk to women. He's still playing. He is using that girl as much as she's using him. It's like we just dealing with two people who just need to heal.
Hmm. Yeah. I think it's interesting, like the way that you posed it, because like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, when you said it, I was like, what's wrong with that man? Like, he, wow, like the last video, I don't even be messing with the celebrity stuff either. So it's wild. But the last video, like she was drinking the henny so hard, and then like, and she was going through what was going on. And in the next video, she had hair ripped out her head, and and then it made me want to cry for her. Like, so when you say
Yeah,
like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, you right, like she's unhealed. Like, why doesn't she know, baby, you do not have to go through that. Like, that
right.
matter that he paid for them chains and teeth, that house, that don't matter. Like, your spirit is being crushed. Like, do you know how beautiful you are? Like, you bad. Like, you got
Yeah,
talents, like you got all this stuff. And he knew, I think you know what you're getting into when you get with these women, and you know that she's unhealed, and that's why you got with her, so that you could capitalize off of that and manipulate that.
Ike and Tina.
Literally. And like, I wish that she could find in her, and she was like, we gonna get through this, we gonna get through this. But like, you don't even gotta go through that. That's
no,
not worth you getting through, because you don't even, baby, just go be by yourself. You could run it up and get
yeah.
money and hustle on your own. You don't need him. And not even, I think she loved him for real. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, she do, and I can see even watching that video with the henny and the like for real, like her just talking and talking to herself. You can just see the hurt and the pain, and it's like, and he plays off of that. And
Yes.
then when she's cheating, he want to show the world, like, come on, y'all just need to somebody. When is enough enough? When do you throw in the towel in
Like,
a situation like if she not throwing in the towel? Why don't you just say, hey? I love you enough to let you go.
I
I
don't.
love you enough to let you go. Like, when can you be the bigger person? If she's not being the bigger person, why can't you step in and say, you know what, baby? We ain't did everything there is to do to each other. We ain't cheated on each other. We ain't embarrassed each other on social media. Let's just call it quits. I believe in karma. I don't even want to even deal with a situation like that. Cause I don't even want to come out my hookup to where I gotta call my man out his name, or I gotta physical. I mean, I seen, and it's not funny, but I seen them where they had both and knocked each other out. He knocked her out on the street, and she turned around and knocked him out in a public place. Like, huh? Why is that the new normal?
That's
Why
sick.
are you even going through that?
That is like,
Broken. Two people that's broken, and you can see that was that makes me question, was his dad around? Because you just don't have no respect for no female that you dealt with. Like, you treat your baby's mom like crap. You
mhm.
had a baby by this girl. You made her get abortions to have a baby by somebody else. It's just like, was your dad
Or do you hate your mama? Which
around?
one? 'Cause something ain't right. Something ain't right. But I think that people don't realize, like, when you got somebody in your life who tears you down and who does all this wild stuff, like, you wouldn't let, like, you sleeping with an op in your bed, like somebody who literally is trying to tear you down. And like, why you keep saying I love you to this
Right,
person who's trying to diminish your insides and keep you in chaos and have you questioning and have you confused. Like, no, because I could literally just leave you today and be at peace tomorrow. Like, I could create my own peace. So you don't have to deal with none of that. Like, it makes me sick, like, to see that people go through that and they accept that. And like, it's literally just mind blowing. Obviously, he don't have no self healing going on, and she needs some self healing. Not because I'm trying to judge her. Like, I want you to have better, babe. Like,
Yes.
I want you to have true love and really love yourself and not even like know that you're the baddest, that you would never have to go through that. Like you don't have to ever touch that. So why are you even going through it? Unless you want a fun, wild experience, like that's what you want, okay. But you don't need that. He ain't the only one with good anything. There's a whole nother one out there somewhere.
Yeah, that's gonna treat you with respect. That's not gonna want to fight you and bust things down. And I mean, they just go through so much, and it's like, but we love each other. No, that's not love. That is not love. I'm sorry to tell you, that is the type of love that I run from. I would not want that type of love.
You know
I
what?
wouldn't even put up with that. Like I don't see how they do it. Like all their whole relationship, they argue that you don't never have a good time. Like I don't know. I'm different.
They probably have some good times. But when I realize that I truly love somebody, I'm like, dang, I don't want to do that because that's gonna hurt them. Like I love them so much, I don't want to hurt them. So
Right.
that's not love. Like I want to protect your spirit and your mind and your heart. So if I'm willing to do all that to you, like how would I even say that you love me or that I love you? Like obviously I don't know what love is and I shouldn't be in a relationship if I'm willing to continue being in a place that creates chaos for you, for myself, for our home environment, for our children. Like none of that. If I'm stressing my man out and he got kids and that's gonna affect him and his kid situation, who am I saying I love? Like
Right.
I'm letting myself be in a situation, I don't love myself. So like I'm not supposed to be in no situation, period. So
Right. Yeah. So, women, you just gotta, women and men, with my clothing, I would just say, what I'm saying, love the person that you're with, get to know the person that you're with, so you can know, the ways that they need to be loved. Also, get to know the person that you're with. All this putting your mate down and not respecting your mate. Figure out what love is. A lot of people don't know what love is. When I'm with somebody, I don't want to tear them down. I want to build them up because I want them to be able to sit across from me and be able to build each other up. Like I have a friend, that we're just cool. But even when he comes to my house and we've been cool for a while, even when he comes to my house and I cook, we feed the kids, but I'll be running around doing something. He'd be like, okay, I'm waiting on you. Come on, do what you gotta do. I'm starving. But he sits and he waits on me to sit down to eat with him. You know what I'm saying? I never experienced that before. And that's being all the way honest, because most of the time you feed your kids. Well, I know I feed my kids. They say the man is supposed to eat first, but I know I feed my children first and then I fix my man his plate, or my friend, boyfriend, or whatever, their plate. And they won't, you know what I'm saying? But my friend, he comes over, he'll be like, all right, well, I'm waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait till you sit down. We gonna eat together. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pray together. We're gonna, wait. And I'm gonna wait on you to sit down.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
yeah.
People don't do that no more. It's just all about, the man is not waiting on the woman. They're just gonna do what they want to do. The woman is not even considering the man. When I'm dealing with a man, I'm I'm serving them. I'm fixing their drink. I'm fixing their plate. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure they're straight. That's just me because I know how I want my man to treat me. I want the same thing going on when a man is courting me and treating me. I want to be treated the same. So I'm going to make sure that my man is 100% straight. That doesn't mean that you're stooping down to a level or you're catering to your man. That's the person I am. I want to be able to full course give my man the things that he needs.
Mhm.
So he can be satisfied in all ways. Communication, open door. When something's not right, tell me right away so we can fix it. Don't tell me 3 days down the line because we had a small argument in the car about food, and now you want to talk about something I did 5 days ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is like love the person that you're next to and try to make it work. Everything is not going to be perfect, but if you work together and love each other, you will find that it's going to work. It's going to work. And put God first. You have to put God first. I'm a strong believer in that.
Listen, I don't be having no choice with my situation. The universe be just doing what it's gonna do. Like, I mean, like we understand what it is, but the universe, like, nah, y'all not doing none of this type of separating. Like, this is meant to be. That's it. Like, so spirit is just like always involved in our situation. But it bothered me that this was ever even a conversation about who eats first. But it makes me think about it when I notice myself serving. The only people who eat before my children are my parents. So if my
Mhm.
parents are there, I will serve them first, and then my children, and then my man. But he'll have everything that he needs: tea and ice water and lemon lime,
Yeah.
whatever, and spark. I don't care. Like it makes me so happy and excited when I have time to cook for my family, and like I can do it up and make him feel loved and make him feel nourished in all the ways. So I always want to be everything that he needs, and I try my best to be able to do that.
Right, right. So when that time comes for me, it'll come and I know that I'm ready. I'm mentally, physically ready, Before I wasn't, but now I know how I want to be treated. So I will treat the person that I'm with the same way that I want to be treated. And that goes with feelings and everything. I'm not going to do anything to embarrass them or nothing. I'm going to be one, love that person. So,
And please love yourself.
yeah,
Please love yourself first.
always love yourself first. You can't love anyone if you do not love yourself first.
Right. Greg, you're the bomb. Thanks for all your comments tonight.
Yes, I appreciate you, Greg.
My
And
favorite
thanks for chatting with us
my
on this
favorite
late night.
you said that your heart is meatloaf, so thank you. That was enjoyable. Well, I think we've been going for a while, so maybe we'll sign off.
Yep,
111, 111, make a wish.
yep, my birthday, 1101.
Wait, hold on.
11, I mean, 1 1. Oh, I'm sorry.
Got you, got you. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you next time we have another ladies' night.
Yes, yes, most definitely. And fellas, you hang in there.
Hang in there.
Great show. Great show.
Send us comments or messages if you think that we need to talk about something else.
Yes, most definitely.
All right. See you later.